Okay, ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome one and all. Hope you're doing well on this Wednesday. It's time to get this show on the road. So without further ado, guys, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Welcome to another edition of London Session. Once again, looking forward to seeing what we can come up with moving forward here today on the gold. It's been an interesting day. It was the news yesterday obviously off the back of CPI. Gold absolutely pumped. Did tell my members before I'm removing my orders. I did have buy limits, sell limits, sorry, but I did remove them because of the fact that news was approaching. Did take a win during the Asian session, which I did call out in the members group as well, so that was a nice win. We can go over that later, but let's see what we can come up with moving forward here on the gold. Guys, if you have any charts, any questions, anything you'd like me to look at, you guys know the drill. Feel free to pop those into the chat, and don't forget, please, just right now, if you're not yet done so, make sure to hit that like button. And let's have a good one, guys. Let's have a look at the all-important news to see if there is anything scheduled for our stream here today. A lot of high impact news overnight my time for the pound and the US dollar. Obviously shifting the markets on, definitely, especially on the US dollar. Moving forward today, nothing scheduled for our stream as per the norm, but we do have obviously some more high impact news during the NY session, so there's 30 minutes into it. Let's be wary of that. Plus you do have, once again, one of the Fed chairmen speaking later on, so a big day ahead once again for the US dollar and gold as well. Anything against the US dollar, so obviously what we trade, gold will be highly impacted as well. Be wary of that. But anyway, guys, let's get into it, and let's start with the gold. So I've got the indicator up, guys. I've got the interruption indicator. I'm pretty happy where it's at. I'll talk about it more moving forward. Still picking up on some which I don't like. For instance, this one, no way I would take that. At least it's showing the price action pattern successfully on the indicator, which is good. But either way, we can have a little chat about that moving forward. But let's start with the gold, and let's have a look at the weekly time frame here. And once again, as I've said all throughout the week, we don't necessarily need that upper wick. Is there a chance we could still create it? Yes. However, once again, as I said all throughout the week, what we're going to be looking for is what levels we have formed within this current weekly candle. And if price was to pull back to those levels, we'd want to see sellers step back in, defend them. If we were to again come back down and perhaps retest the current weekly candle's low. However, those are areas of interest, those levels of resistance. If price was to in fact begin to pop above them, close above them, and pull away, there's a high probability we're coming up to the next ceiling above. So what we can make off the back of the weekly. On to the daily time frame here, and what we can see is the previous day's candle once again respecting and bouncing off that 4K level. But once again, it just looks like we're running out of its steam. These bounces become more and more shallow each time we hit that 4K mark. So current daily, what we're going to do is marking the high and the low of it. We're going to see what we've got either side of it. Still going more off the back of the previous day's candle at this point, but being wary that we're really just what they call in crypto terms the dead cat bounce. It's kind of starting to resemble that here on the gold. So it looks like the buyers are really struggling to keep this thing above 4K at the minute. Onto the 4-hour time frame, and as I mentioned yesterday, structure was bearish and it still is bearish. We've not flipped the structure bullish at all here. So the 4-hour adds confluence to the downside. What we're going to do is mark in that as the most recent support. We have almost all but tapped into it by the looks of it. We're going to mark in this as resistance. We'll make our way down to the 15. So we've got the weekly as bearish. We've got the 4-hour as bearish. Daily, based off the previous candle, is bullish, but we are wary that the current daily is forming bearish. And the M15 structure, I know a lot of you are going to say it's bearish. I beg to differ. I'm calling the M15 bullish. As long as we remain above this support, that is the impulse to the upside. It's anything in between the swing low and the swing high, we are technically bullish in structure. But what we are doing within the current day's candle is obviously forming a series of lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low. This trend continues, and then once again, do see potential for further downside. The issue is we're pretty much at the support. So what I'm going to be doing just now, guys, is let's just remove this zone, seeing we are a fair distance off it. Let's focus on the current levels of interest. I'm going to mark in that for the time being. That is the most recent resistance formed within the current daily candle, which is forming bearish. We've all but tapped into the 4-hour support. I think that's good enough, to be honest. So we'll just shift that across. All right, so plan of attack moving forward. Let me just draw in one more zone here. We'll incorporate the highest point of any bearish candle at that level, so just above the daily high. We want to be, first of all, for potential buy options, guys, we'd want to be above 4,065.18. That is one potential option if price was to pop above. What I'd like to see is price, first of all, claim the Asian range high, claim the daily high, pop above like so, retest, and begin to actually pull away from that zone. If we were to do that, what we can see is we've got clean traffic to the left hand side. At that point, there would be a high probability that the previous day's candles high would come into play. So that is something we definitely would consider. As far as further buy options, guys, kind of tricky at the current area because we are just in consolidation at the support. But what I can see is most recent resistance formed in the current daily candle is at this 4,042 sort of region. If price was to begin to pop above it, as I mentioned before, based on the weekly, we're going to look to see what levels we've got within it. This is one of those levels. This is a minor level. Price was to pop above it with the clean traffic to the left. What I want to see is pull back, retest, continuation on the M15, and that to me is also valid for a potential buy to take back up. Now on the flip side, let's look at the sells. I'm just going to drag this zone down, because below that 4,009 region we have much cleaner traffic. So as far as sells, guys, similar, but obviously in the opposite direction to the buys as to what I'd be looking at. Price to pull back up, we'll reject that 4,042 if we were to retest that most recent resistance form within the move to the downside within the current day's candle. Off the back of that, I'd be looking for price action catalyst or a sell option to take it back down, with further sell options back up higher as well. So very similar sort of scenario. If it did pop up a little bit higher back towards that 4,060 sort of region, I'd be looking out for some sort of price action rejection and potential sells, and obviously further sell options below 4,009 roughly, this support. So that is the current update on the gold. Comfortable that we've swept downside liquidity, that if we were to pop above 4,042, it could be in line to potentially retest the current day's high. There is no interruptions at the minute, guys. I can't see anything. I don't have any limit order set at the minute as per the norm, to be honest. I mean, normally the last week or so, I've always had an order set coming into the stream. Did have an order set today, and it was a win here based off the interruption on the 30 and 15. So price had 2 entries, both for buy limits. As price tapped into this, I actually got to about a 60 pip profit, 70 pip profit. I didn't choose to secure, so just here, it literally bounced straight back up. Watched it go back into drawdown, and I was actually quite fortunate because I got tagged in a little lower down than my entry, so I had very little drawdown on the second position, and that flipped, and I pretty much, as this flipped back bullish, I took profits. So in hindsight, probably could have left a bit of a runner, but I secured the bag. It was a nice win. It was about a 60-70 pip win, so I was happy with that. And once again, it's been a really good week. Big call out my members group, although I know a lot of those guys would have been in bed, seeing most of them are from over the pond. But anyway, guys, Paul, good day to you, mate. Everyone else, don't be shy, guys, please say good day. Let me know you're out there. Let's get this chat pumping. Let's quickly take a look at some of the other pairs here. Silver looking very similar to gold. Has it not tapped in to a cluster interruption here? It's actually not done so just yet. Silver looking really good, but the issue on silver is spreads. Spreads are terrible on silver. GJ, you're likely got an interruption here. Yep. That looks really good. It's trending strong bullish too within the current day's candle by the looks of it. So GJ, there is a potential limit order buy back at the height of that bearish candle. Stop loss below it. I mean, for the sake of a few pips, you're probably better off having a stop loss back below that bullish swing. That bullish candle's low. So GJ looking pretty good. You can see strength in the measures. Look at that, guys. That was, yeah, that was on stream yesterday, wasn't it? We mentioned that could be a decent potential entry. Looking at AU just now, is there any... Okay. All good. Is there any potential entries? Looking at it, likely upon continuation above the current daily candles high. Let's just have a look at the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, it does seem quite clean to the left-hand side, so let's sweep the Asian range high, pull back, retest, continuation, that type of scenario. Geez, I got so close to be tagged in. Otherwise, just pull back buys on AU. Looks quite bullish at the minute. Let's quickly look at EU. Looks pretty ordinary, to be honest, unless someone really wants me to do analysis, I'll forget it. GU. Also similar to EU, just that resistance, not much going on there. Let's quickly look at the indices here. German 40 still stuck in this range. Still stuck in this range, so not much going on in German 40 as well. Probably want to be below the support at 25,020. Or at resistance for sells. Quickly looking at NAS. So the interruption indicator is telling us there's a 15-minute cluster IC just here. Wow, the one from yesterday would have worked a treat too. Look at that, tagged in. Yeah, you definitely had a one-to-one on that. That would have worked as well. That was analysis sent into the members group yesterday as well, so happy to see it. Zach, joined yesterday. How I see members discussions. Members discussions, well, in the community tab, you've got the members only uploads, posts. It's not a great deal, mate, to be honest. I mean, the VIP is where it's all at. But thank you anyway for joining. Just in the community tab of the YouTube main page, mate. Look, if we pop down a little bit further, sweep the Asian range low and to begin to pop back within it, we could possibly look at buys from lower down as well. Remembering we're still going to be bullish on the 15-minute time frame here on the structure itself, so I would still consider it. Come on, guys, let me know how you're going. Anyone currently in any trades? There's more than 2 of you in the bloody chat, so don't be shy to say g'day. So as per the indicator, there is no valid interruption at the minute. It's the box up here is not showing anything, the table. Going on team. Anyone currently running any trades? Anyone want me to look at anything? Just someone say something in the YouTube chat. Need to get this chat pumping. TikTok, welcome to you guys. Don't forget to hit that little screen for us. My members, let me send you guys the link. So today's gold trade was called out well before the entry. Once again, profits was secured on this entry. So guys, if you've been paying attention to the streams, once again, you could be easily capitalizing on your own. Such an easy entry to follow. And it's just, it works so well. Mick, do I think it's a buy? I think it's, the bias is more neutral at the minute. And we're right now, we're just consolidating, so there is nothing. YouTube, just spam the chat, someone say something. Paul, thank you. Thank you, mate. Did much happen yesterday? I missed it. I got it. Gonna make staying on my houseboat and the power went out, so I had to sort that out. This happened, and that was news. That was CPI, I think, for the US dollar. On stream, nothing happened whatsoever. It was shit house. I mean, this is the whole stream yesterday. Just this pure trash consolidation. Prior to the stream, I personally got involved in an interruption buy, which was a nice win. Really nice win. Secured almost 100 pips on that. But otherwise, it was a pretty shit ass day, to be honest. Not much happened. Oh, that jump went pretty much across everything. Yeah, just absolutely pumped. Well, since obviously retraced the whole move, and that often is what happens after schedule news. There's the lovely lady. Thank you, Mayo. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. I'll see you later. Alright, so the indicator is telling us there's some valid interruptions a distance away. which is good. Not sure why it's not showing up on the table, to be honest. Actually, I think it's because it has to be within 100 pips for it to show up on the table. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly why. That can be changed though. But anyway. So yeah, so the indicator's showing up some very delayed interruption entries. And it's good to see it's actually showing them though, either way. If we look at NASDAQ, it should work on NAS as well. It is too. So it's showing up NAS, and we've got an entry, as I mentioned before, showing it as an entry here. That's what it will look like. This is what it will look like. Target the high. And that's your entry at the high of that bearish candle. As per the indicator. Alright, it's showing the actual entry here as well. Stop loss. TPs based off 1-to-1 and so on and so forth. That you can all adjust. You can adjust those settings as far as TP in the actual settings of the indicator itself. Jim, good morning to you, mate. How's it going? So personally, the win streak is at 7. If that can continue. Alright guys, who's currently running trades? Let me know. Just type in Y or N. It's easier. Or if you want, let me know what trade you're in. Well, no. Okay. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. How about you guys on YouTube? Bob, this might be a tricky day. Yeah, possibly. Again, a lot of high impact news to come. Lent you on to gold buy early. Thank you for that, mate. Appreciate it. Someone's listening. I hope it worked. I too go into gold buy earlier. Wasn't greedy, secured the profit, and was happy with that because price did in fact pop down lower after it popped up. So I was happy with the profit I secured. I was actually at the gym. To be honest, I had the order set. Was watching it. Got triggered in pretty much when I got to the gym. And all you got to do is let it do its thing. I was happy with the risk. As I mentioned before, it did go up to like a 70 pip profit the first entry, but I kind of wanted the second entry to be triggered in, so I left it open, and fortunately it pulled back to tag me into the second position, which was set at the body of this bearish candle, the open. and then bounced off that again. That's where it got to secure my profit. So yeah, it was a pretty solid win. Sorry. You got a huge stop loss and 10% risk. Oh, wow. Oh, so you're still running the trade, you mean? All right, what's your target? Assuming it's maybe a swing trade or more than just a scalp if you're risking 10%, but who knows? Still running? Okay. I'm assuming you got quite a wide stop. You're risking 10%. All right, so buy limits are valid on GJ here, based on the M30. Now I know why the indicator is not picking up, but that can be fixed. Actually, I know why it's not picking up, so it's not set to pick up the currency pairs, but again, that can be changed, that can be adjusted. DP, am I reading that correct? 7,043. Amazing life changes. Well, looking at potential buys from this support, as long as price respects it, but I need some sort of price action catalyst, because at the minute we're just kind of consolidating. 4,073, yeah. I'm gonna say, mate, gonna be holding for quite some time, to be honest. Gonna be paying a lot of swap fees as well. 4,073, yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, that's definitely gettable. Hang on a minute. Oh, jeez, it's just been tagged into, otherwise we would have had an entry. Yeah, that was before the stream. Either way, guys, that was 15 minutes or so before the stream. That's tagged into a 30-minute cluster IC, and look at it bounce straight off it. Literally straight off it. Unreal. Wow. That is the cluster IC, guys, and look at it. It's Again, it's just bounced straight off it. Whether or not you would have been tagged in is another story, because the spread, you may not have actually been tagged in on it. But it has literally tapped into it. And entry that would have been. Again, and these are entry types that you've only heard of on my stream, guys. None of these fair value apps. It's not just breakouts and buys, you know, like upon close above or below, or sells below. Yes, we can do that as well, but we've got a lot more to our, you know, in our toolbox than maybe some of the others. And that is definitely one of them. Now, there's the one lower down still, which I kind of like today. I wasn't as keen on it yesterday. The stop loss in that one is quite a wide one, and you're looking at 120 plus pips. But there is a valid entry at 4,490 roughly, guys. Price once again bouncing off the cluster here. Oh yeah, TikTok. Trading guys, thank you for your sticker, mate. Neilish, good morning to you. Gold bouncing off that interruption again. Oster. Clint, thoughts on US 30? Really heavy consolidation. It looks a mess, to be honest. I mean, higher time frame picture very bullish, but the current weekly is lower high, lower low to the previous daily. Leaving a long wick, tapping into all these wicks to the left as well, bouncing off it. I don't want to be above that bearish candle wick though, by the looks of it. Bullish based off the previous day's candle. Weekly bearish based off the previous week's candle. Wow, structured bearish. Just no momentum whatsoever. Be marking that in as most recent resistance. Support, I'm marking on the 15. I just use that whole level. So for me, I mean, looks a real shit fight, to be honest. Fight's going to be difficult because it's just consolidating. So I'd actually prefer it to pop down below 52,523. Close below that point there. To take out the Asian range low, pull back to retest and start to pop back below that support, just below it. Something like so. For buys, I want to be above 52,718. You got much cleaner traffic, obviously. You got very clean traffic to the left above that point. I believe that would be the level where I'd like to get involved. Anything in between, I just don't see anything. It looks a real shit fight. Are there any interruptions here that's been tagged into? I don't see much, mate, to be honest. Now, what I'm tempted to do, be pretty risky, but the fact that we've bounced off this support, if the new candle opens up and creates a straight low wick without creating any upper wick and begins to pop above this liquidity candle high, be a very impulse but a quick entry. Could get a pretty quick 1-to-1 on it too. So the entry would have to be, MagicKeys not working. Around here. First of all, we need to look at the fib. Has to close above the point 382. It's pretty much where it's at. Has to close above that. Straight low wick. I'm not gonna be able to set it up. Going up wick either way, so forget it. What's going on, man? Here we are. Man. Some issues here, guys. Clint, all good. Yeah, I clicked MagicKeys. It's nothing is showing up on my MetaTrader. I have a light popping on my keyboard though every time I click it. What is going on here? It's gonna drive me nuts. Technology, guys. I freaking hate technology, honestly. Give a sec, guys. I'm gonna try and sort myself out. MetaTrader is doing some bullshit, funny crap. I have no idea what it's doing. scroll, keep scrolling. So why is it on? You can't be kidding me. It's taking me all the way back to like $1,000. And unlike TradingView, there is no just refresh chart. I don't think there is. No, I can't find it either way. Gotta try to scroll all the way back. Current price action. And it's taking forever. I mean, we're pretty much there. What? Alright. Done. Jesus Christ, that was frustrating. Now is MagicKeys gonna work? It's not. Guys, what's that light above F9 on your keyboard? What's that stand for? Can anyone tell me? There's a light every time I press open calc on my MagicKeys, the light flickers on my keyboard. And it's not showing that there's anything wrong on my EAs on MetaTrader. It's confusing the shit out of me. Not working. Sorry guys. NSN Navindu. Is there a possibility gold could tap below 4,000 within today? There is definitely a possibility. Because every time we approach that 4K level, the bounce off it is more and more shallow on a higher time frame here. So that suggests to me there's a good chance it's going to break at some point in support. Will happen today. Don't have a crystal ball to be able to tell you that, but the more we pound on it, the more likely the floor is going to fall through. Now what I'd be looking at, guys, is bullish engulfing M15. If you've got the bullish engulfing M15, as long as there is margin to target the high of that bearish candle, that could be a potential buy option. Why the hell is my MagicKeys not working? That's numlock. That's what it is. Ah, yep. Technology is taking the absolute piss out of me today. It's just scroll back to $1,000 and get $1,800 gold. It's like, seriously. Anyway, let me see if I can open MetaTrader again. Maybe that will help. Shit fight. Nah. Got to be kidding me. Bob, no idea. Mine says aeroplane mode. Aeroplane mode, but sorry about that. numlock, but I have no idea why the gold chart just keeps scrolling back to $1,800 on my MetaTrader. That's my biggest concern at the minute. That and the fact, God knows what's going on with MagicKeys here, but it's not working. I'm wrong. Open calc. Like, let me see if I can get the on-screen version going. Something is not right, MagicKeys. I've got it up here, but that's not working as well. This is the on-screen version of it. I'm supposed to click that and it should show up the horizontals on your chart. It's not showing up nothing. The open calc's basically just preparing the entry point and all that. TP and stop loss is it's not doing nothing in my chart. Alright, I'll just have to manually do everything. Pain in the ass though, it really is a pain in the ass, especially if you're waiting, if it's a split second thing you're waiting for, such as the close here and then I stop the high or whatever. Sometimes it's just gonna lower wick and take the high and plug it in. Sorry, it's not having much luck with it today in the minute of technology. No, same shit. Right, so basically what I did is remove MagicKeys and we'll deactivate it on the MetaTrader, and I've just reactivated it. You gotta set it up again, it's the same shit, it's not working. Oh yeah. No idea what is going on here. It's a right old pain in the ass, to be honest. But anyway. Yeah, something's interfering with the keyboard and MagicKeys. I'm not sure what it's doing. The Moscow, let's go to you, mate. How's it going? Yeah, apologies, guys. Just frustrating when technology does not work as you want it to work and you don't have any idea why it's not working as you want it to work. All good. I'll just have to try my best to manually execute quick enough if there is an entry. So close bullish engulfing right at resistance in consolidation. There's really not much I can do at the minute. It's gonna be one of those ones. As soon as I turn the bloody PC off, turn back on again, I bet it'll work. Paul, do you use Windows operating system? Yep, I do, mate. It's frustrating watching gold. That's what it is. When you have stuff all idea about technology and you have a problem and you have no idea how to fix it. It's like watching gold during London session for the best part of the last God knows how long. where all the moves come Asian session or NY session. I take trades, I call trades, just so happens to be most of them come during those times. So they're called in the members group. I did call the one today in the members group before I took it. Called it well before I took it. It didn't trigger until about 11 something AM, so I called it here 9:35 AM, so well and truly in time. Just how it is. It's just at some point London session is going to bring the volume. It's just not happening at the minute, which is pretty frustrating as a streamer because people think you're trying to avoid an entry. It's not. You're not trying to avoid an entry. You're waiting for the most probable setup to present, which is freaking not often of late on the stream. I was even contemplating a very risky impulse entry, as I mentioned before, had we not had an upper wick on this bullish candle prior to flipping bearish. I broke the high of that weak bearish close at support. So personally, I'm trying to find some decent entries. It's just not, they're few and far between at the minute on gold. Paul, check to see if you'll slip an update and needs a restart. If it has caused trouble before. Oh, okay. Maybe. No, I did no, mate. I updated actually before I went to gym. Maybe that's caused something. Latest Windows update. And it's, yeah, since then. And I'll probably have to just uninstall MagicKeys and reinstall it again. Maybe that will help. Yeah, it's just strange because every time I click on a button, it lights up the num lock on my keypad, on my keyboard, sorry. Got num lock switched off on my keyboard. Switch it on and click on the open calc button on MagicKeys, nothing happens. That's something for after the stream. So what's the deal, guys? Anyone currently running any positions? Oh, Jesus. I know, man. How close is that? GJ. How close is that to being tagged in? Alright, so there's an invalid entry. Indicators picking up a valid entry at 29,735 on NASDAQ. Very nice. Thank you, mate, for all the stickers. I Don't know when you send them all, but I appreciate it. Yeah, so the other option to keep an eye out, guys, moving forward is the 30-minute interruption plus the interruption at around that 4K level. I kind of like it, to be honest, because of the fact it lines up with the 4K psychological round number, which price continues to bounce off it. So even if it is yet another kind of dead cat bounce from that level, the likelihood is that you're going to get enough profit on the table to secure something. And then you're not too fast. I mean, if it gets to that 1-to-1, I mean, it could be a decent return. So did do an update for the course for my members about layering into these types of entries. Bit of a tricky one here. Possible way to layer in, but you're going to be quite close to stop loss at that point. Is probably the close of that bearish candle. So that could be a second entry, just in case it does pull back further. And it just makes it a bit easier to manage because it's a good chance it's going to bounce off one of those points, some point within this pocket of consolidation here to the left. So that is a limit order I would be considering setting moving forward. And look at this on gold, seriously. Would it be any more congested at the moment than what it is? Thank you. All right. We are sorted for now. We are sorted. The on-screen version has decided it's now going to work. Thank God for that. God knows what is going on, but at least I've got the on-screen version going. That's better. Those who actually have MagicKeys or another trade management EA toolkit, you'll understand. I'm sure you guys will understand. You just get so used to executing using it. It's just so much quicker. Especially as a scalper, if you're waiting for a confirmation, which sometimes doesn't come, well, it doesn't come till the close of a candle sometimes. And sometimes that confirmation is so close to being, you know, valid or invalid, that you're literally waiting for the close, and it gives you like maybe a split second to set an order. So by having MagicKeys or any other EA toolkit to open and manage your positions, it just helps. It's just so much quicker and easier. So I can live with that. The on-screen version, it's probably better than the actual hardware version. Yeah, Paul, I have no idea why all of a sudden that's starting to work. But it's working. That's the main thing. All right, happy days. Let's get like count up to 50, guys. Not as many of you on stream today. Again, I think people get frustrated and probably just couldn't be bothered watching because they think I'm never going to take a trade, which is not true. I will take trades, but only when there's a quality one to be taken. And I've called many trades which eventuate before and after the stream as well. They're all called. They're all called the members group. Except for one yesterday, which I didn't really have time to call it out. All right, let's be 2 seconds to be really quick. We have an interruption present in about 15 minutes from now, possibly. For that to happen, it will need to look something like this, the pattern. This candle closing bearish. This candle closing above this resistance to wipe that out, but not tapping into the target here. And that would give us a valid limit order buy back the height, that bearish candle. So we're approaching London Open. So we probably want this to close bearish, to be honest. Because unfortunately for London Open, there is not much I can do at the minute. Unlike, you know, guys like Roger Banks who always have to have an entry for the Open. I see this as pure trash. Just absolute crap. This is consolidation. This is just not tradable. Unless you want to get wrecked, you might get lucky sometimes, but 95% of the time you're going to get absolutely wrecked. You're going to get have your pants pulled down. Oh man, so now the freaking the actual hardware version is starting to work again. This is just taking a piss. That's all it was doing, honestly. All right, so we're close bearish. That's good. Bullish engulfing would be fantastic. Technology taking a piss today out on it at my expense. At least it's all working again. Race? No, I do not have a buy at the moment. You have to catch it at the right time. There is no time that you can actually, you know, like set in stone as to when you're going to buy or sell. You need to wait for your confirmation. At the moment, this is just crap. This is pure crap. As I mentioned before, it's just back and forward. There is no clear direction here. What happens is people think it's going to go up, so they'll buy it and pops back down. They'll jump into a sell thinking, well, it's obviously going down and pops back up. This is what consolidation does. It traps people, builds liquidity into the market in order for price to make the next move. Now, I'm not going to predict where that next move will be. I need to wait and react for price to be at my levels and to give me my signal. So until that happens, there is absolutely nothing. I can't tell you when I'm going to buy it. If I'm going to buy it, it could be a sell. And vice versa, I can't tell you when I'm going to sell it, if I'm going to sell it, because it could be a buy. But the minute, it's just trash. There is absolutely nothing at all I can do to this. And I understand you're new. So that's fair enough. But the quicker you understand that there's not always an entry, and the quicker you can understand the importance of discipline and patience, the better you'll be. You'll progress and become a better trader a lot quicker. You'll pick up on things. You'll save capital, preserve capital. Yes, it can be exciting, clicking a button and all of a sudden you see, you know, your account going up. But trust me, you can get wiped even quicker if you're not careful. Vanessa will price be going down again? Possibly. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. I believe if we respect 4,042, then there's a good chance we will continue back bearish, but there is strong support at the 4,020 level down to 4,010. So then you got the psychological 4,000 mark, which price continues to bounce off as well. So let's see. Once again, we want the bullish engulfing here. We want a bullish engulfing, and we want it to close above that wick without tapping into this blue zone. And that will give me a signal to look for a buy. Maho, you obviously don't watch long enough into the stream. Wolfie FX, just up, let's go, nice one. You watch me daily, so you must be learning a lot then. Why are you here if you're salty and not satisfied? How many trades have I called the past few weeks that play out into analyze session, and myself and my guys take profit on it almost every freaking day, mate? Today, Asian session, same shit. Like I always say, I have no control as to when my signal, my catalyst will present on the charts. All I can do is the analysis, tell you guys what I'm looking at, tell you guys the entries. So when I've got the limit order set, I let you guys know. And if you take it off on your own when it actually, you know, taps into those levels, fantastic. If not, too bad. I'm not responsible for it. And this is not a signal service. So if you're not happy, mate, no one's forcing you to be here. You want me to call a trade here? Sell it. Fuck it, just sell it, mate. Go for it. Wolfie effects, I know, mate. I know. It is what it is. JFX caught a massive buy yesterday during news. Nice one, mate. Yeah, I removed my sell limit well before that. I did mention to my team that I was removing it because of the news. So I was glad I did, because it would have pushed straight through where I had the sell limit. Plus, I've got other things to do, guys. I don't just sit here for 4 hours a day waiting for a freaking trade. I got a life outside of streaming, trading. I've got a lot of things going on in the background, which I don't need to explain to you guys. Most of my members know what's going on. So I can sit here till roughly about half an hour to 45 minutes to maximum about an hour into London. And if something presents in the meantime, fantastic. Sometimes it presents 15 minutes after, and mark my word, myself and the team are taking it. But I'm just not sat on the computer. I'm watching it on my phone or whatever. JFX trade, sell limit based off the interruption. So this here, that being the interruption, cluster interruption. So I'm not sure how long you've been watching the stream, but it's one of our entries. So limit order, it presents to the upside as well. There is one here in the M30 lower down, still not being tagged into. and it's something that we've picked up on, that price tends to react to these. So it's like the last candle leaving accumulation, the last candle in the opposite direction to the impulse, and vice versa up to the upside here. And it also is valid on the 1 hour on this one. So I actually had 2 orders set. One was at the low of the 1 hour, and I had one set at the 15-minute. So I had 2 orders set on this one. The stop loss back above the high. Took a trade like that today to the upside and secured profit on that during the Asian session. Once again, was called out in the members group. Was called out an hour and a half before it actually triggered in, and now about 2 hours, and secure profit on that. Happy to secure profit on this impulse up, so it wasn't a great deal of drawdown. Got the profit, and price has since retraced, but all good. Managed to secure about 70 pips on that one, so it was a pretty good return. Rumaho, all good. Corey, DXY is still ascending, is it? Likely, but again, my opinion of that is don't worry about focusing what DXY is doing. You trade gold. No, they are inversely correlated for the most part, but not always. Just look at EU. You know there's going to be strength in the US dollar if EU is going down. Then generally speaking, all the other currencies against the US dollar will be going down. I was just stuck in this freaking shit fight in a minute. JFX trade, so trade support and resistance mainly using zones where prices previously reacted from. Nice one. Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that at all. I also look for buys from support and sells from resistance, but we probably have different confirmations. So I must go on lens. You like gold bullish momentum, then bearish. Yeah, to be honest, I'm the opposite. I don't know what it is. I like selling. I like selling gold as well. Daniel, B2, in regards to selling. So with dump gold, sellers in control. Yeah, I believe they are more in control as well. As I mentioned before, every bounce off this 4K level becomes more and more shallow. Continuing to make lower highs, lower lows here on the daily structure. So the daily structure is technically bearish. So I do believe sellers are still present, but this 4K level is just really critical. As soon as you get a really strong close below it, and I believe the bleed off will continue. Indicates picking up a daily interruption from the initial breakout zone, roughly 35.60. Interesting. A bar on up. All good, mate. You're new. Just wanted to find out, do you watch gold to help make gold trade decisions? No, I personally do not. But again, I do understand that for the most part they are inversely correlated. But as I mentioned not too long ago, I just focus on gold to be honest itself, because I know exactly what I want to look for, what levels, so on and so forth. But if I really want to gauge the strength of, for instance, US dollar, I'll just look at the Euro USD, seeing that is the most liquid currency pair on the market. So I just look at that, and that will give me a general idea of the strength of the US dollar. But to be honest, I don't bother. I just look at gold itself. It's a fair question. 2 seconds, guys. All good. I mean, I really like the way you explain stuff. How consistent is your live channel? I'm based in South Africa and always looking at reliable channels to learn from. Monday to Thursday, mate. Yeah, I stream Monday to Thursday. Pretty much given, unless something comes up at home, which, you know, sometimes it happens. But yeah, pretty much Monday to Thursday, with Tuesday being a slightly later start than the other days. Tuesday is usually just before London Open, but every other day from about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes prior to London Open. So just before the Euro Open. Thank you. Ayo Rind, what's my catch and goal? Shit outs at the minute, it's just consolidating. So if we do make a clean move to sweep the Asian range low, it has to be a clean move because we're just in consolidation. We need to cut through this consolidation. Otherwise, what we could do is just look like we're coming down, straight back up, coming down again, straight back up, zigzag along. So it needs to make a clean move through the consolidation, sweep the Asian range low, tap into the 4-hour support, provide some sort of catalyst from support to buy it. Look for my entry signals based off the right confirmation. Otherwise, buys best above still 4,042. Most recent resistance form within the current day's candle. If price was to close above it, retest it, begin to pull away from it. I do believe the Asian range high will come back into play. Otherwise, I'm just going to be looking for sells upon a pullback. I do have a valid limit order. I've not set it just yet though, based off the 30-minute. I reckon I'll set it. I'm gonna see if I can get a second entry though on it. I don't want to layer into it. Alright, so definitely one will be set at 4,004.9, whatever that candle high is on your broker's chart. That's what I would suggest. I may just place a second entry at the close of that candle. I reckon that's what I'll do. Stop loss back below, give it maybe 5 pips or so below the low of that candle, so that will look something like so. That's one position with second position set for that level, and that is based on what we call the cluster interruption candle entry, and that's on the M30. Just here, guys, TikTok, and sorry my face was in the way. So that's what it'll be based off. 30-minute interruption. Is there one on the 1 hour? I don't think there was. Not. And that one's been tapped into and price pushed away from it. So their orders I'll likely be setting. Bro, how can I help you get more likes, bro? I'm not sure, mate. I wish just people realize the value they get on these streams, but all good. Speaking of, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. The Baron, appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Melon Cheetah, good day to you. Yes, I'm assuming you're a friend. Nice one. Where am I based? In Melbourne, mate. Oz. But again, as per the conditions from yesterday, I mean, if it comes to the point of time where the news is about, I just remove it like I did yesterday, because it's the variable that we cannot do nothing about. I mean, when news is scheduled and price filters in, you know, off the back of the news, it just pushes through everything. And eventually price, generally speaking, ends up back at where it came from. So personally, I would remove it about 15 minutes prior to news. Otherwise, the buy limits, in my opinion, are all good. I don't really have any sell limits. What do I? I mean, that actually is valid. All right. There is a sell limit. based off the same idea. The 15-minute though, plus that interruption at the resistance, stop loss back above the bullish high. I can only see one entry on that one though. DJ is so close, freaking close. Remembering that the indicator is picking up an entry on NASDAQ here as well, 29,735. On NASDAQ, something to keep an eye on if you do trade it. Yeah, that's Josh, isn't it? Risk and relax. H2IC. Yeah, look. It is valid on the 2 hour as well. Oh yeah, it's picking it up too on the indicator. True. 4446. You're correct, mate. So there's one here on the 2 hour as well, guys. Stop loss would have to be back above it. That too is valid. All right. Thank you for pointing that out, mate. That's the next thing I need to add to this table, so it can pick up on the different time frames and tell us there's one valid on the 2 hour, even if you're not looking at the 2 hour chart. So let me go back to the 2 hour. I'm assuming that's the level. Yep. All right. All right, so stop loss in that one is about 100 pips. Not all that bad for a 2 hour interruption. So you got multiple potential limit orders here, guys. I reckon that would be a good level to scale into the H2 IC sell as well. I'd probably cut the order into halves. Bit confusing, all these horizontals, guys, I understand. Again, there is a reason for it. Benjamin, what strategy are you using? New to the stream. But it's pretty much price action at predetermined levels on the chart, mate. But we also have the interruption entry, which is based on limit orders, so based on pauses within price action. You'll need to watch the stream more often to understand it, because there are different types. The one we're looking at in regards to these limit orders are the delayed and cluster entries, so they're not as straightforward as the continuation one. But yeah, you really just need to continue to watch the stream and you'll definitely pick up on it. It's an entry we take pretty much on the daily, the members and I, when price action is shit house like it is currently, and been absolutely killing it, taking 7 wins in a row, pretty much all based on the interruption entry. I think we had a trade last week on stream, which was just based on pure price action, based on bullish momentum, close above a zone and continuation. But other than that, it's a lot of it's been the interruption entry. So do my top down, starting at the weekly down to the daily, looking at the 4 hour and 15 more for zones of interest. I determine a preferable bias, but I'm not always fixated on that direction. And that's pretty much how I go about it, to be honest. So my gold lens, can't wait for gold to beat gold again. Where bulls are all over the market. Yeah, to be honest, I wanted to trend bearish. Value. Place my bet up or down. This rate I'm calling up. Doesn't mean I'm taking a trade, but I think it's, as long as it remains above this support, it's more likely to continue to push back bullish. Unreleased. What gap are you talking about? Robin? That's fair enough. To be honest, it is. It's all shit at the minute. I'm not interested in this area at the minute at all. You 2 new subscribers. The Moscow lens to support your mark looking so strong. Very, very strong. Very dangerous in my opinion trying to sell into this level. It is in confluence. Yeah, be in confluence with 30-minute, the 1 hour, 4 hour. So it is a very strong zone, that's for sure. But I mean, if you're wondering why I'm not taking a trade, just look at this mess. Within that, really, what are you to do? Wilson is gold ban. He's gold around. Just said we'll respond to US attack. Hopefully it shits the bed, really, guys. I really want gold back 3,500. Sylvia Asia low was swept and rejected. Yep. W, to be fair, winning solid go, so it'd be up on a point. Yeah, true, but very risky. It's me. It's literally just a roll of the dice. That's what it was. And like I said, sometimes you're gonna get lucky, but most of the time you're just going to get absolutely destroyed. Some Moss Golden Lens, but look like it's ranging. It definitely is. It's in consolidation more than anything. 30-minute candle showed the price is right. Yep. 30-minute just shows it's consolidating within the range. So the range itself is, you'd argue, the swing high is the resistance, this is support. Price tapped into both these levels multiple times, so that gives you your range. Right now, this is just consolidation. So there's nothing wrong with trading the range, but to me, there is no way to trade consolidation. Some might actually have a winning, way to do so. I personally don't. So I literally avoid it when it is consolidating. There is nothing I can do. Look at that, NAS. The entry would be in on NAS, and you'd be closing in on that 1-to-1. As per the rules for the interruption, when it flips, you should be at break even. Wonder if anyone actually took it, the indicator working a treat. Class, absolute class in that. Not a great deal of drawdown. Once again, irrespective of whether or not I get treated into a trade on stream, I cannot control that. It all depends on what the market does. I do call trades in between on other pairs, and look at this. This is working an absolute treat on NASDAQ. some must go on lens buy at the bottom and sell at the top situation. It can be done. Yeah, it's true. It's pretty much all you can do when it is consolidating. W got a W gold sells 4041.23. Nice one. Absolute class. Cluster IC working to perfection here. It's there. It's got the box outline. If it's not yet triggered in, we'll have a actual horizontal as well. But obviously it would have been triggered in, so it removes the horizontal. So you know you can't take it again because technically speaking, it's not valid on the double tap. And look at it go, absolutely perfect. BMPW, thank you Justin, and for your time. You're the best. I needed to see my mum this morning. Take care, all good, and I wish you luck. You have a great day. Enjoy your time with your mother. And that goes for everyone. Don't take anything for granted, guys, because I'll be taken away from you very, very quickly. And gold is a shit house, really. Why could it not be this? Did call it, guys, so you can't say I did not. I did definitely call this well before it triggered in. Gold is a shit house. Absolute crap at the minute. Oh, it's a nice little IC entry here on EA as well. That one would have worked. Continuation. Tapped in, rejected. Look at it now. And you learn this shit on stream. You get free education on stream on the daily, guys. But that is also a valid entry. Stop loss back above the bullish candle high. Target day's low. Once again, look at that. Absolute perfection there on NASDAQ. So the options are EA. DJ is still technically not being tapped into. And gold. Gold's just wait. That's all you gotta do at the moment is just wait. So I'll see how the new M15 opens. If it just shits the bed, I might hang around a bit. If not, there's nothing I can do because I don't know when it could get triggered in. Puppets, good day to you. All good, mate. Missed the stream yesterday due to work, but did rewatch in the evening. Nice one. Appreciate it, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, so we've got some limit order set on gold again. Otherwise, price action is just absolute shit house at the minute, so quite difficult. Puppets in the news yesterday really messed things up. Suffered some loss. It blows through stop loss. Yeah, I know, mate. I did call to in my team to remove the order because of news. So if there is high impact news to come, I remove the order because it's just it's not worth the risk because you can get slipped on your entry and you get slipped on your stop loss. So I'm sorry to hear it, mate. Those again in my group fully aware. I removed the order to mention it. Where was it? I didn't mention it. Was it on the update video? I definitely mentioned it somewhere that I removed the order. No, 100% I mentioned it in the update if I didn't mention it there. Anyway, did definitely mention I was removing the order because of news, and I'll be doing the same today. If price comes close to, or if it comes close to the time of news and we're not being triggered in, then I would definitely remove the order because of that, because of the fact that this could happen. And it has not a care in the world for for any of your entries. James, I mentioned on the call a couple of times. So glad we removed them. Yeah. It's just not worth it when there's high impact news about, because we see, you know, what could happen. Others, not your fault. Learning should always be alert and high impact news. I was out dinner and watch it. Yeah, you need to be wary of the news, mate. Just make sure check Forex factory in that before. What time is news, Vanessa? Today it's at 30 minutes into NY Open. So it just depends where you are. For me, that's 10:30 p.m. So generally speaking, I'll just remove the order before I go to bed. It's not being triggered in. Tommy, nothing for you today. Yeah, it should be on today. Likely. Yeah, there's nothing in here. So you see, my guys are, they know charts are shit. They understand the charts are shit. There's nothing in a minute. That's how it is. No worries, Tommy. No worries, mate. On that note, I'm not going to hang around too because the charts are crap, guys. There's nothing I can do. I don't know when it will present, if it will present. And I do have a life outside of streaming and trading, so personally need to go take a break. My team, I'll be back with you guys a little later on. You guys know what I'm looking at. Limit orders to the downside here based off the 30-minute cluster interruption. Limit orders to the upside here based off the sell limit M15 cluster interruption, and there is a 2-hour delayed interruption, which is very clean and looks really, really good. It's a bit below the 15-minute. So if you want to scale in with multiple entries, you could perhaps start scaling in at low of the bullish candle. Have an entry set for the 15-minute also. You got 15 minutes a little bit higher up. You could have it set for that support as well. I do like that level. And then have the final entry set for the 15-minute cluster with your stop loss back above the high. And that is another way you could go about it, because there is a chance it may just reject the H2 interruption, delay interruption candle and not pop up any higher. That is something you could possibly look at, but yeah, apologies guys, I can't do anything when the charts are shit. I'm not going to just call a trade for the sake of it. Well done to anyone who may have taken NAS. I don't think anyone did, but look at that. Got to get credit for something, guys. Definitely got more than a 1-to-1. What an entry that would have been. We called that very early into the stream today, well before it would have been triggered in. So still learning. If you know nothing else, you're still learning, and I hope you appreciate it. Anyway, take care, trade safe. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, cheers. Bye guys.